tell you guys all something right now. You're all crazy. Every single one of you. You're crazy. Think about it. You are actually going to try to create a company, take an idea, and over the course of a couple nights, try to say that this is something that the world deserves to have. You're all crazy for even wanting to come in here and do that. And actually say, we're going to make this happen. We are actually going to take Tuesday morning to get together and to start talking about how we're going to build the next big company.
Alright, for those of you who are at the last one, if you remember, I got up last second, did an impromptu pitch, and you know how many votes I got? 0. So, I figure it's payback for everyone. So I learned from that. So a couple of things. One is, I got a co-founder. And of course, I try to find the best co-founder I could get. And two, we had to pick a market that we actually know something about. And, I'll let Alana talk more about that.
So we thought about, do we know anything about like the bar market, like serve? No, we don't know anything about that. We don't know anything about going out anymore. We're old. But what we do know about is marriage. So between the two of us, we have more than 50 years of experience with marriage. So we decided to pick a market that we knew has a big problem, and it's a big market. Now, the marriage market, turns out it's $40 billion. But it turns out there's an even bigger market, and that's the divorce market. It's $50 billion. And then there's another $14 billion for marriage counseling, and that doesn't even include the self-help books. There are 300,000 books on Amazon for relationship advice, and that compares to only 60,000 books for personal finance.
So why are there problems in marriages or relationships? And we kind of studied the literature out there, and really there's 3 reasons that are kind of the same across anywhere you look. You guys can probably guess it: money, sex, and bickering over household chores. Who's doing more around the house? Who's doing their fair share? So we're going to go after one of those problems, and we're going to go after the third one, which is bickering, over who does more. And so our solution is a wearable with a mobile app, sort of taking advantage of the quantified self movement, the quantified couple.
And it also takes advantage of our strengths on our team. We've got software and hardware. So how are we going to do it? What's our MVP? Well, we looked at what are the chores that people bicker over. Well, number 1, it's who does more of the driving around and shopping and stuff like that, who's taking out the trash and cooking, and who's doing the dishes. So we figured out if we got a GPS and accelerometer sensors, we could figure out who's doing more of the chores for driving and things like that. Air quality, that should do taking out the trash and cooking. And moisture should cover who's doing the dishes.
So for any teams that want to work on this weekend, we've also provided some things for you for data testing, or for user testing. So first thing you need to validate is the hypothesis. Will people actually measure this data? So what we have is pencil and paper for the couples to track the data. The second thing is you have to test form factors. What wearable will work the best? So we have a couple of form factor prototypes for you to use.
Choke chains.
These are collars. And finally, we have a name for you to validate. So the name that you didn't see was Data Whipped. Anyway, thanks. Good luck with all the pictures.
So I'm Brian, and I want us to create 360 showing. Forget that.
And go.
I'm still wanting us to create 360 showing. I want to make buying a home less painful. There's about to be this wave of consumer 360-degree cameras to hit the market. By next summer, there's going to be 6 different models. I want to leverage this coming technological wave and enable non-technical real estate agents and brokers to list their homes using this new technology. We've all bought a home where, and on showings, as we walk in, the house doesn't match our expectations. 360 showings cuts down on that, saves people time, and speaks to the $65 billion a year brokerage fees. It's hyper-competitive. Agents have to work very hard to distinguish themselves. And so that gives us a great opportunity to let them differentiate each other. We're looking for web development folks, which is really anyone passionate and interested. Come join us for Team 1 360 showings. Thanks a lot.
Hi everyone, my name is Evan McIntyre and my idea is Nutrition Company Delivered. I'm sure everyone has wanted to gain a couple pounds, maybe lose a couple pounds, want to get more fit, and the problem with that is nutrition. 80% of your diet plan, how fit you are, how much muscle you have, comes down to what you're eating. And the problem is, every single time you go into a grocery store, what is the first thing you see? You see candy, you see chips, you see cinnamon, you see all these things that aren't good for you. So what happens if you could have a package of what you should be eating for a week time delivered to your door, prioritized to what you need? Let's say you're gaining muscle, you can have more protein delivered. Let's say you're a vegetarian, so you only want vegetables delivered. So you can get a packaged solution of exactly what you need to eat each week delivered to your door so that you can eat right and you can eat in a very simple manner. So with that, nutrition systems delivered. I'm looking for people that are interested in nutrition and want to see a healthier alternative to always going to different grocery stores.
Thank you.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Matthew. My idea is for a mobile application called Q. And what Q will do is connect freelance photographers and models directly through this application without the use of a modeling agency. As a photographer, I'm constantly reaching out to models locally and abroad for specific photo shoots. I found it increasingly difficult to connect these models on individually conceptualized photo shoots. Without first going through these agencies which dictate concepts, extract fees, and overall they just really lengthen the process. Q, this mobile application, will resolve these issues by removing said agencies and allowing photographers and models to connect directly on a per shoot basis. In addition, models will no longer be paid by their agency, but instead directly through Q. Looking for developers, designers, people who are good with numbers, all around business people, and also I was put in charge of marketing for a Monday meetup. This is a plug for where's Kit? And yeah, 8 a.m. in Lawrenceville. Am I done?
All right, hey guys, I'm Dylan, and I'm frustrated with the process of career changes. The best way to get the information you need when you're switching jobs is to talk with somebody who's already in the position you want. But the last 2 job changes I've made, I didn't know anybody. I had to cold email dozens of people and ask them to just give me their time for free. And only a few would even have the time to respond. So I want to create a website where you can monetize this process, where you can just go on, request a half-hour Skype call with someone to go over your resume, to give you a few tips, just someone who's a career step ahead of you, not paying hundreds of dollars for a lifelong Jedi mentor like existing career service companies. I've already been doing this on the side, just helping people make the career change that I recently made. So I know that people want it. I want to build an app to spread the solution and to as many people as possible. I'm going to call it Stepladder, because the point is just to get that one step up. Who are you looking for? Everybody. Developers, designers? Yep. I do front end and business guy, but I need everybody.
Hi everyone, my name is Alani Grant, and the name of my idea is A Feather. So I want everyone to have their social network get real. So what I mean by that is that, well, I'm a millennial, and one thing that kind of signifies millennials is that they like to explore and travel and move to new cities and just do adventurous things like that all the time. However, once you're in a new city, you often find yourself lacking the social networks that you had back at home. So what I would like to do is to make a mobile app that actually allows you to connect with people based on your personality and interests in order to make new friends. So other social networking sites do similar things, however, they don't actually allow you to be introduced to people in the real world, and that's what I would like my mobile application to do. I'm interested in developers, marketers, and anyone who's interested in making a new friend. Come take this journey. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Nick Muir, and I'd like to get you guys to think a little bit and maybe get interested in an idea to test for heavy metals. Call this metal sense. It turns out the actual sensing component is an off-the-shelf technology. Right now, if you want to find out if your soil has heavy metal, if you want to find out if your water has heavy metal, you send in, you pay a couple $100s, you wait a week. China last year announced about 70% of their soil is lead contaminated. An acquaintance of mine sets up community gardens in Pittsburgh. Most of the dirt in Pittsburgh is contaminated. You can find out, is your water safe? Is the fruit you're going to grow or build safe? And whatever, it's, the technology is like a diabetic test strip. It takes less than 10 minutes. It's portable. And I'm looking for designers. I'm looking for business people. I'm looking for everybody. Thank you for your time. Metal Sense.
Hi, we're Michelle and Allison, and we know how important it is to have an active social life. But did you know that social isolation is a major health problem among older adults? There'll be 49 million people aged 65 and older in the U.S. by 2016, the majority of whom want to age in place, which is very nice, but can be socially isolating. There's another big problem in the same space with family members. They're stretched and stressed, and they are losing $3 trillion in wages from unpaid leaves and turning down promotions. Combating social isolation and reducing stress is what we're aiming to do with Pulse Plus. We're here to help you keep a finger on the pulse of your aging loved one. From tracking caregiver visits to incorporating smart home technology and wearable devices to finding someone to play a game of cards with your dad, we want to be the go-to resource for all things aging in place. We need strategic thinkers, IT folks, and compassionate individuals to join Pulse Plus and help bring peace of mind to those who worry. We'll help you keep a finger on the pulse.
Hi everyone, I'm Yuru. So the idea that I have is called dance song. Let's just say this is, I'm a dance choreographer and I'm experienced like 3 problems with my fellows. So first of all, it's very hard to find, like a really good choreography dance videos on YouTube. And secondly, there's no easy way to actually like record your formation changes and to be able to communicate with your dancers. And third, it's really hard to actually track your dance movements creation. So here's my solution in 3 easy steps. First of all, inspiration. So this inspiration is actually by creating, like a really smart searching algorithms under all of the videos. So we'll be able to actually search by the songs of your choreography. And second, it's really like a user interface to be able to create different formations and like be able to create the animation effects of these different formations. And thirdly, we are creating like a community between dancers and choreographers and be able to identify the... All right, thank you.
What type of talent are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking for IT people and as well as designers, whoever is in charge of like really passionate about dancing. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Tyler, and I have an idea for improving how we discover and share music. It's a mobile web app called Sorta Like that fixes a lot of the common problems with how we discover music today. A lot of current platforms, such as Spotify, have 3 major issues when it comes to how they suggest music. For one, they aren't built from the ground up to be social. Secondly, they do a poor job of exposing both new and local music. Finally, they pigeonhole artists into genres that over time have lost much of their meaning. Sorta Like throws out genres by changing how we share music from things like genres to the way we do it naturally, mainly by comparing artists that we discover to ones most people already know. You can build a profile of artists you love and share music and find music based off that. I'm looking for business people, marketers, designers, as well as mobile developers to help me build this new idea. Thanks.
Hi, my name's Tom Jones, and the name of my effort is Startup U. and the target is high school kids. High school kids, I found, are really challenged trying to understand what they want to be when they grow up. And an example is I had a meeting with some teachers recently, and all they kept saying was their kids were aspiring to be a professional athlete. And so it's really been eating at me that we really need to do a better job of helping kids in high school start to understand what are their interest spaces. Where could they go in their lives going forward? What I'm looking for is a front-end developer and some designers to help me get interest from high school kids on what their future is. I know that can be a challenge because they seem to be day-to-day. So the focus is just how to get them excited about preparing and figuring out what they want to be when they grow up. That's it.
Hey everyone, I'm going to try and do this without the microphone because I really never know where to put it. My name's Zach Shepska. I'm a sophomore at the University of Pittsburgh, and I know it doesn't really look like it, but I like to work out. And my freshman year, I started up a little company in my dorm room, don't tell the administrators, and I sold nutritional supplements. I've learned a lot. I use that build, measure, learn mentality, and I learned from a lot of customers that you don't know what to take. There's a lot of supplements on the market, and you're kind of unsure. I thought back to myself when I was 14 years old and I started lifting weights, and I thought, I wonder how I decided to take supplements. And I actually worked out with a kid who was 2 years older than me. He told me to take whey protein, casein protein, and creatine. So I went to my mom and I bought whey protein, casein protein, and creatine. And I can tell you, and you guys can look at me, I don't know how well that's worked out. We have a new technology that's been emerging. You have MyFitnessPal, you have wearable technology. I want to take the data that's collected through those applications and provide people with a data-driven solution, something that would work well for them. The company, the idea called Boost.
Hi, my name is Trisha. The idea that I have well researched is next-gen doc, and you may or may not know, but it takes about, on average, 12 years for well-researched medical practice to actually go into practice. So your doctors, you think you're getting the best medicine there is. However, it takes a long time for you to actually get that type of medical treatment. So what I'd like to introduce is a new way to learn online what the best medicine is available. And it's somewhat what Duolingo offered to Latin Americans, so that they could learn English without the cost of actually learning English. So this app would be free, but don't worry, I know there's a market and I know how to capture the customers that will pay in order to have people learn what it takes to have medical practice delivered to people that would be often given tomorrow today. Thank you.
What do you need?
Oh, designers and developers, MBAs, whoever likes the idea.
Hi. Oh, it's loud. Okay, my name is Catherine, and the idea that me and my team have, my tentative team, if we go big, is about donations. So currently, the way that institutions that get donations get them, like something like PBS or something, is kind of difficult. People don't like to donate. It's easy to not donate and kind of like pass the hat along and be like, oh, I'll do it next time, or like you can't see who's doing it and who's not. Also, things are not as immediate as they are in a situation where you're perhaps like putting change in like a Salvation Army Santa bucket or something all the time with things. So what we want to do is figure out a way for have a way for donations to be both more present and more fun for the donor. So it's like an incentive-based donation system that also uses technology to make it easier and more lucrative for the companies who are receiving donations. I have 4 seconds. We need designers and we need Android devs if there are any here, or if you know an Android dev and can like give us their email address. That's it. Thanks.
Hi everyone, I'm Hao Han, and I'm here to help those university applicants to write their application document, because like writing that document is such a pain. And however, if you Google online, you may find so many online services that do that. Why do I still want to do that? Well, simply because most of them suck, and more importantly, because people don't usually know they suck. That's why I want to become the Amazon in that field. I don't offer the service, I get them together. So when you give us your document and we analyze your document, we know your background and we assign a document to the most suitable service provider so that you can get the service with minimal money and minimal time. And more importantly, we analyze others' background and we form up a team for you so that you can build up a club or something. That's why my idea called Applicants Club, and that's the time. Talent, I'm a tech people, take very limited number of business classes, so I think I can work with anyone.
Okay, thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Ashley. I'm a teacher here and I have a side business that I ran into a problem with. It's a multi-vendor site, hopefully serving everybody in the United States, and I need to figure out how to do the taxes and the shipping for that site. So we've been working on a WordPress site and there are no apps or plugins that do this. So this is something that's definitely saleable to other WordPress users. What we need is an app that supports shipping on a multi-vendor site or allows all participants to adhere to their federal and local tax laws. And, there are shipping things, so I can work with that. But what I need is WordPress developers, designers, and possibly somebody who is familiar with tax law. And it would be called All Over Tax.
Hi, my name is Prashant Tambe. I'm a computer engineer and I'm pursuing my MBA at CMU. The company that I want to start is called Listen to Me with a 2 number. What I want to do is when you go on websites and read articles, news articles, you go on blogs, read articles, I want to have the authors of those articles actually record their voice and have them as something that you can listen to. And people can subscribe to these things. So rather than actually staring in front of your screen, you can listen to these articles while you're in the gym, you're jogging and stuff. And this is not like a text-to-speech. This is like actually authors recording their own voice. They can reach to their audience. I'm looking for people, developers, designers, marketing people.
Hi everybody, I'm Will. I'm here to talk to you about a problem I have. In June, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and this is probably the biggest room I've talked about it in. There are about 25 million people who have a form of IBS. I have trigger foods. Trigger foods cause flare-ups. I don't know what they are. I've had this disease since June, and I still don't know what my trigger foods are. Every time I eat one, I end up in the hospital. It costs me thousands of dollars. So doctors told me to keep a food journal. Keep track of what food I eat and figure out what is causing these flare-ups. The problem is that those food journals only cover the end product, not the ingredients that are going into it. So what I want to do is build an app that you put in something like pizza, and it'll track the ingredients that go into that app, that go into that food, like sauce and spices and cheese, and then it'll aggregate all those data points and figure out what's actually causing those flare-ups. That's it. It's called the Ingredient Journal, and I'm looking for developers and designers to help out. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Phil Shiraki. How many of you have ever parked in a parking garage? Yeah, had to do that the other night. The most annoying experience of my life too. Damn those little cards. So that's actually my idea. Let's invent something that can get rid of those stupid little cards that you lose, or increase the process or the throughput of the people that park in parking garages. Whether we create an app along with a piece of hardware, it kind of sounds like Easy Pass, but for parking garages. So looking for devs, designers, business people, the whole gamut. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Ben Alderodi, and my idea is called Pre-Group Chat. So there's a lot of innovation around messaging. Messaging apps are actually the most used apps behind social networks, and all the innovation has been with the app itself, but I actually have a little addition to that, where before you get into the group chat, you have to, you're going to pose a question first. So imagine that every group chat you entered in, you were specifically about that question itself. So if I want to propose dinner to my group of friends, I propose it through this app, and they actually say yes or no. Only when they say yes or no do we get to the messaging. So it's a little thing. I know someone earlier said, what happens if I went up here and pitched Snapchat? You probably wouldn't think anything of it. It's that little thing that before you actually get into group messaging, you actually propose some type of question. It's going to be great for organizing events, things to do, places to go with your friends. It just takes one step before you actually get into the messaging, and it gets to this crazy thread. It really organizes it concisely. I'm looking for iOS developers and designers. Thank you.
Hey everybody, my name is Justin. I want to work, a friend and I are talking about an idea now called Start Me Up. Really what it comes down to is we hate the snooze button. It's terrible. Every time you use the snooze button, it ends up, you mess up your sleep patterns, you get up later, you become less productive, you wake up groggy. And really what we think is a big problem with waking up is you start off your day very negative. You wake up, first thought getting out of bed is, I didn't get enough sleep, I'm not ready to get up yet, things like that. So what we want to do is turn waking up into a more positive and a more motivational experience. So there's a few different ways we're thinking about doing that. One of the main things we're thinking about is trying to connect people. So you wake up and you're paired with somebody that they know your goals, they know what you're trying to do, what your dreams are. You wake up, you get connected, and you talk with that. You get held accountable. And then, sorry, I'm running out of time. Looking for designers, developers, and anybody that's creative enough to come up with a better name. So, thank you.
Hello, my name is Brooke Bengo, and ever since I was in elementary school, I had a really hard time studying. I do really good in the classroom, I catch up on things real quickly, but when I got home, I couldn't focus. Couldn't study, I sat and wrote note cards and wasted hours of time trying to read these notes that I never grasped. I feel like I fit into a big category of a lot of other people. Nearly 13 million other American students are auditory learners. We learn by hearing, so I talk out loud. I started singing out loud, and then I really found that caught on, and I started learning. It was like magic. I remember things that I needed to know for my tests, just like that. So this is how Harmonix was born. Harmonix is a web and app application that sorry. It's a application that will help students learn, and it'll help you grasp things quickly, just like I did. I'm looking for people who are creative and innovative and want to have a kick-ass team that can really help get this off the ground. Thanks.
Raise your hand if, like me, you've ever had a dead battery. Leave them up. Who's ever locked their keys in the car? Leave your hands up. Run out of gas. Just generally broken down. For all of you, my mobile app is for you. It's called Jump It. Jump It is the Uber for roadside assistance. So by seamlessly connecting people that need help with tow trucks that are probably right in the area, we avoid long phone calls to call AAA. You know exactly when that help is going to get there. We reduce the time it takes for the tow truck driver to come and meet you. And best of all, you don't have to pay those fees to AAA that you probably never use. So the Jump It app allows you to never have to make a phone call, wait on the phone, get that help, nor do you have to have wasted fees for something that you rarely use. So I'm going to need specifically mobile app developers, mobile designers, and anybody else that likes the idea. Thank you.
So how many people in here own Bitcoin? All right, that's awesome. How many people stay at Airbnb? Okay, so I'm not a crazy guy, but I find those two concepts so cool. No more hotel industry, no more big banks, just some of those ideas that just kind of eliminate some massive industry. So my idea is called anarchy. Ooh, yeah. So basically this is crowdfunding for public works. So most passionate people out there, I went to a city hall meeting when I was in high school, and it was actually pretty crazy. So the idea here is to skip over everything to do with government. If we want to fix our potholes, let's all, in here put $5 to that, and city official signs on. It's launched, it's a campaign, and no more city budgets. We don't have to worry about governments finding funding, and we can just do whatever we want. Let's take over. Yeah, all right, so I know developers, designers, business people, anyone who wants to bring down the government.
Hi, my name is Paige Sabidra. I'm a graphic artist at Pure Red. I would like to come up with the idea or a software or such of an app to help valet drivers. If I could get valet at Walmart, I totally would. So my idea would be to calculate where and how to put cars arranged so that there is more cars and less labor. And also to improve with the help with the green. And this would also work as a claim ticket and could email you of your ticket so that you don't have to have your card to give the valet later because you might go to the restaurant or even a strip club and you're going to lose your ticket. So I need some designers, I need some developers, people that might know how Google Maps might work, such as that, to help lay out a lot and help with cars. So I would call this Car Jockey.
I'm Rob, and I think email needs a facelift drastically because, what would be nice is if we had a development environment that would allow us to create apps for electronic mail that are cool as apps that we run on our phone. So the idea is called social.email, and to get things started ourselves, what we might do is create an app that would allow you to give badges to your friends based on how fast they respond to you. And that's just one of the things that we could do. I could use anybody that's interested, non-technical folks for the pitches and sales and stuff. Any developer who would be interested, I've got experience in mobile and web, so I could help anybody that's new and just wants to learn how to do that. So that's basically the idea, and I'd like you to join me.
Thank you. I'm Phil. My idea is Fast Blast. I used to work for a genome sequencing company. We had in the center of the building a giant room with 30,000 cores of server computers running a program called Blast that compares protein sequences to each other. And it cost millions of dollars per year to maintain this set of computers. I can reduce the number of comparisons that need to be made using knowledge about protein sequence families and put my version of BLAST on the cloud, charge genome sequencing companies a fee to get this sequence that's less than their cost and more than my cost. And basically I need a C++ coder and somebody who's familiar with putting things in the cloud, and that's it.
Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Jacob Howe. I am from Pittsburgh, and going through school, I'm also an electrical engineer, but going through school, I felt as though I didn't get the idea of how to be successful in life. I learned a lot of things about different subjects, but the real important things I feel as though I missed, and that's what's missing in school. So what my idea is to create a mobile application called Hunger to Succeed. With this mobile application, this will be sort of like your life plan and a virtual coach in one, where you have everything at one place. Your finances, your relationships, your health. You can manage these things with one application. I believe that would help to organize a lot of things that go on here when you have so many different distractions. I'm also looking for developers, marketing individuals, and also life coach type of personalities. Okay?
Hello, my name is Juan. I come from a computer science background. So the problem we found is that augmented reality is not reaching its full potential. I don't know if you're familiar with it. I don't have time to explain it, but I found that less than 1% of schools in the US are using augmented reality for educational purposes, and I guess it's mainly because teachers don't have the capacity to put augmented reality on materials, printed materials. So my idea is to give them the solution and to make it reachable to teachers with applications, mobile applications for kids, and a web-based cloud so they can configure their apps. So I need designers, business people, and developers.
What are you calling it?
Arco.
Arco, how do you spell it?
ARCO.
GH.
It can change.
How's it going, guys? I'm Dan Delanus, and my idea, I want to help some kids who are already starting their own little businesses, shoveling sidewalks like I did, mowing lawns. Give them some business tools, all right? The following numbers are completely made up. There are about 120 million kids in the United States today who are doing this stuff already. So let's help these guys out. They're making like $12 billion every year doing this too, okay? So let's give them a set of tools to actually forecast, okay, if these are my costs, if I got to buy this lawnmower, how many lawns do I actually have to mow? And what am I going to charge to do this, right? Give them an online tool to do this stuff. Give them a way to learn a little bit about marketing. Maybe they can make a nice little brochure. I don't know. Teach them something about business while they're already trying to make themselves some money. And then give me my 10%. I don't know. So basically, I don't know shit. I'm not a developer. I can pretend that I know stuff about business, but really I'm just making it up. I need everybody. Like, give me anything you guys got. I'll work with anyone. I don't have a name for the damn thing yet because, like I said, I don't know shit. Maybe like BizKid, whatever. Let's go.
Hello, my name is Dennis. My idea is for free and reproducible science. I'm a software developer and a former PhD student in bioinformatics. Spent 2 years in the program, very frustrated about two things. There's paywalls to scientific articles, so I can no longer access them. And the data, large amounts of it, not available, and the algorithms aren't available. So we can't reproduce the science that's being produced right now. I want to use modern technology, modern practices. There's nothing pragmatic going on in graduate school. And I need, my ideas are to brand it. There's ideas out there to produce it, but I don't have good ideas how to brand it. I don't know how to monetize it, but I know I want to train these students so we could partner with open journals and colleges around the world. Thank you.
What type of help?
Business, tech heads, designers.
Hi, my name is Rob Meyer. Throughout my career, I've gone to a lot of meetings. How many people go to meetings? Hundreds of millions of people go to meetings every single day, and everyone says, I hate to go to meetings. They are the building block of modern business, and they're required. But why do people not like to go? Because it's a waste of their time. The reason is because you go to a meeting, you don't know what it's about ahead of time. You have no input. You show up. You don't even know what it's about when you are there. You don't know what's talked about, and you don't know what you have to do to follow up. My solution is Agendify. It's a collaborative meeting tool that helps create the agenda before the meeting, manage the meeting during the time itself, and then manage follow-up and archiving afterwards. It uses Agile and Scrum techniques to make it efficient. What I'm looking for is builders, designers, engineers, full-stack web developers that want to create a tool that's as ubiquitous as meeting invites.
Hey guys, my name is Eddie, and the problem that I want to solve is how people know waste time on social platforms. So we know social media has been successful, but it's a huge time waster. And the way this is going to work is simple. Say you spend 20 minutes on Facebook, you get something that prompts you up and say, if you're a student, you can ask you a question, for example, and then that triggers you to the study. If you fill the question, it gives you a link to, a place where you can get the research, for example. If you work for a company, you can wake up in the morning, set up your task, and then, and that's it. And then you go on Twitter, and then you just, get a message and say, have you done this? So, basically, that's what WhatsApp is going to do. It's going to connect to all platforms, Snapchat, on Twitter, Facebook, and all of that, and then basically just prompt you up and then, ask you for, for the things that you want to do, whether it's study, to do dishes, whatever it is. I'm a developer myself. I'm looking for, tech guys, business guys, just anybody, crazy enough that thinks this is what to do. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Heather, and problem is I'm dying, and it's okay because you're dying too. We are all dying every day. There are 2.7 million people that die in America every single year, and more than half of them aren't really prepared. And if they're not prepared, you're not prepared to handle their death. So my idea is to have a platform where I can put in all this information about my life, who I am, what I'm doing, what my goals are, what my dreams are, and information about my family, my loved ones, my cats when they have to get vaccinations. And then with that data, I can push a button and generate a simple will, power of attorney, financial power of attorney documentation, which is actually pretty simple to put together if your life isn't overly complicated. But if it is, have another outlet to get in contact with an attorney that can help you, because it is very important to get it done. I'm looking for back-end developers, designers definitely, and anyone who's interested in helping people take care of their life.
Thank you. They say that the ideas don't originate from over a long period of time. And honestly, I did not have any idea before coming here, but the speech given by Don really inspired me. But while all of you people are trying to solve several problems of different people and different fields of study, I identified a problem with you people. The problem is that you don't have a platform like this. You don't have something like a startup weekend every day. You have it for Saturday, you have it for Sunday, but the day Monday, when it comes, your idea dies, and I have identified it, and I just want to pitch it up just because to provide that platform, an application and a web page, perhaps a website, perhaps that can use a simple rank-based developers and people like you pitch their ideas and select the developers upon their interest. And I don't want just anyone. I want those people that Don mentioned who has that fucking passion. Thank you, guys. And
hi, I'm Corey Keller, and everyone kind of inspired me here to come. Who loves food porn? Yeah. Everyone loves food porn. Chocolate-covered Oreos, crazy stuff. Most of the time, where do you put it? On Instagram. You get on the salt of the earth, you order meatball or celery. You post it on Instagram, and you're like, great. How do you actually make this? Nobody knows. I'm looking for a way to create an app for people that love to cook, chefs. They're going to do something similar to Instagram. You can take a picture and put an easy way to be able to put all your ingredients and the actual recipe. If you have friends who love to cook, they can go on there. You can follow them and see how, maybe Jessica made a great recipe of kung pao chicken. How'd she make it? Now you can find out. It's called food porn. Thank you. I'm looking for developers, business people, anyone.
Hello, people.
Wait, maybe. What? Can we write down? Yeah. Good.
Yep. All right, I'm Michael Richardson, and I've been through about 20 ideas as I was sitting back there, and I've had a number before, but the one that I want to talk about tonight is what I'm calling Sprite Gin. So the idea is that there's a lot of people now that, with a low barrier to entry for app stores and development, that want to build their own games. But one of the big problems is coming up with sprites. How do you come up with the graphics for your game when you don't have any design skills, you don't know how to draw, you don't know how to use a computer to make those kinds of things? So Sprite Gin is a tool that allows people to very cheaply ask for a sprite based on a photo, and then either through some sort of machine learning or algorithmic means or through crowdsourcing, gets them a sprite version of that photo in just a few minutes. So that's my idea.
What type of talent are you for?
I'm looking for devs, designers, and business folks. We'll get it.
Great, thank you.
Hi, I'm Patrick Printer.
Hi, Patrick.
And I've got a question for you guys. So, how many of y'all in the audience today get high? And no, Jeremy, you're not writing this one down. All right, good. We have one person who doesn't lie in the house tonight. Thank you. One person. All right, so for those of you who do get high, and I know you're out there, you are not alone. 21 states in the United States have currently legalized medical or recreational use for marijuana, and the trend is skyrocketing. We're going to see 5 more states in the next 2 years. I call it, right? I call it. So what I'm suggesting is a tool to help people who are getting high. I want one button that delivers me baked goods. That's it. I want yo for baked goods, and I'm calling it dough. Thank you very much. Seeing as how I'm not going to be here, I need developers, designers, and anyone who thinks they can make this a profitable company.
Hi everybody, my name is Savannah, and I went to school for CS, and then I became a part-time professor, and so I have a little bit of background in CS and teaching. And what I discovered was when I was going for CS that it was really frustrating because
The couple of schools that I went to, right, like community college and then a 4-year program, there wasn't a cohesive curriculum, so that's what I'm calling it. There wasn't like glue classes that put it together. I can write, Celsius to Fahrenheit app in every single language that you could ever imagine, but nothing that tied all the different lessons together. So what I wanted to do was, come up with cheaper textbooks for students that teaches, for loops and then arrays and everything, and puts it all into a project-based learning together. So it ties everything together. So you're not just writing one app. It teaches program development and things. And I need anybody that wants to help, make learning more fun. Developers that can communicate. Thank you.
All right, so Kit just convinced me to pitch this idea. How many of you guys were sad when Robin Williams died? Show hands. And would you guys pay money if there was an app that would save his life? Right? Or how he died? Right? So, with an Arduino, a couple of servos, a couple of sensors, we can build an app that's a medical device that can let anybody do autoerotic self-asphyxiation safely, right? We can let you get to the limit that you want to get to, right? I know it's not as controversial as getting high, but it'll get you pretty far, let you get off, and it'll still save your life, right? Talk to me, we can make this into a social platform where there's like another person on the other side pressing the button, and they're willing to pay for that. We've done some market research. Mostly you guys. We need everything, including someone to actually do this and run this team. I'm going to crowdsource the name. One more time? Asphyxiator. No E.
All right. How many of you out there like puppies? Give me some hands. All right, kitties. It's not too many. But sometimes when I'm feeling down or if I'm stressed out, by the way, my name's Andy. I'm a developer. It's a little stressful. But sometimes when I'm down and stressed out, I would just love to have a puppy to cuddle. So it's like Uber, but for puppies. I need an investor, some developers, some business people maybe, and some puppies. No cats. I don't know. We can maybe work in cats, but I'm allergic to cats. But I'm sensitive to other people's needs. That's cats. And what do you look for? What am I looking for? Yeah. Investor. Perfect. Yeah, that's it. And yeah, maybe developers. What are you calling it? Puppy cuddles.
All right.
Let's go.
All right, I'm Lou, and just thought about an idea. So based on our user research method, 95% of people never wash their hands correctly. And 52% of guys never ever wash their hands after they use the bathroom. That is gross. So, what are you going to do? We're going to have like a wearable and an app or whatever you can think about, and an Apple Watch. So every time you wash your hands, it's going to remind you have to wash it 20 seconds, 2 happy birthday songs you have to hum like during the time you wash your hands. And this kind of a reminder, think about Ebola, think about like all those diseases, I think about like, you might die from not washing your hands properly. So if you're good enough to wear an Apple Watch, you're good enough to wash your hands 20 seconds. And I don't know, the name is Wash Your Damn Hands or whatever. I'm like marketing / designer, but well, yeah, whoever want to work on this, and you have to be accountable. That's the only requirement.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm a product designer, but I can do all sorts of things. So something I realized was I left college 4-ish years ago, and I went and worked a job that didn't necessarily use all the skills I went to school to learn. So I've found myself now self-educating over the internet, YouTube videos, or paying for various online tutorials type stuff. And with education hacking being a very common thing now, you see all sorts of TED Talks about it, and people saying we can do things our own way. I think if there was some sort of app that allowed people to basically build their own curriculum by kind of dragging and dropping URLs from resources that they can use to learn more about, whether it's a specific skill, software, that type of thing. If you can relate, maybe you think this is cool. I can use anyone in the technical field to help out, and anyone who thinks it's an interesting idea. That's it. Thank you.
I don't really have an app to pitch. I'm just want to let everyone know that I'm going to be on Tinder. Both interested men, female, 18 to 55 plus. Swipe right. That's all I'm going to say.
Hi, I'm Bill. I mainly just wanted to pitch tonight. I have an idea. I'm probably the wrong person to pitch or sell this, so fair warning. And watching the news with all these tragedies that we have, they always go and scour the internet for social networks to find indicators. And I think they're doing that in the wrong order. We should have things out there that are scouring the internet, looking for people, and trying to connect them with the help that they need to try to avoid tragedies that might be out there. But we have to walk that fine line of privacy, of course. I'm a developer. I look for anyone to take this idea and actually make it something that's going to make a difference and make some change. For now, I'll cry for help. Great.
I was thinking, amongst all of these people who are in the room, how many people do we got in here? You know,
like 100 and some plus.
About 110, we'll say. I can guarantee that at least maybe 25% of the people are friends with other people on social networks that are in this room. They may have noticed that already, but they don't really know what to say. So I'm thinking, how do we kind of eliminate the social awkwardness of seeing somebody that you're probably friends with on a social network, but you don't really know what to say in person? So what if we were to come up with something to where, say, hey, this is, I don't know, at candycrush.com on Instagram. What do I say to this person? Well, you kind of get hints, conversation starters based off of that person's interest. Are the people in the room that might have something to add to this? I don't know. But I figured I'd get up and pitch it. So,
what type of talent are you looking for?
What type of
talent?
I'm looking for people who are familiar with apps, developers, people who, think it's a good idea. I'm open.
What are you calling it, right?
We'll say conversation starter.